Hey up, welcome back to the channel. I've had a few weeks off, it's been the Christmas break, so I've had a little bit of downtime. So I hope you all had a good Christmas and Happy New Year to you all. And as you can probably see, we've had a little bit of a dumping of snow over the last few days here in the UK. I've not been able to get out much because of work commitments, but I managed to find myself at this place. It's an absolute favourite of mine. I'm in the Yorkshire Dales and I'm at Winskill Stones. I always find myself here when I end up in the Dales. It's got a lot of sentimental value for me. If you're a long time follower of the channel, you'll definitely recognise this tree and this little patch of limestone behind me. And it's not the main reason that I'm in this location though. Just over the hill there's a waterfall, and you know me and waterfalls, I'm drawn to them like a magnet. It's one I've been to before, but I wanted to see what it'd be like in these conditions, in these wintry conditions. But there's no way I could pass Gator's tree, not stop off and get a quick shot. So let's get this camera set up, let's get a picture of this tree, and then let's head down the lane and see if we can find this waterfall. So I'm hunkered down quite low, try to keep out this stiff breeze. Hopefully you can hear me, hopefully the microphone's not picking up too much wind noise. But the other reason I'm hunkered down is that does tend to be my favourite composition. I like to be quite low and then use these limestone rocks they act like almost like fingers leading you towards the tree. Sadly it's the middle of winter, so there's no foliage on that tree, so it's looking quite stark against a fairly bland sky. In fact it's so murky and dull. You can't even see the background. There's normally Ingleborough, one of the Yorkshire Three Peaks in the background. You can't see it at all, so it's quite minimalist is that background. But I'm not often here when there's snow. I think this is only the second time, so I'm going to get this image. Because I'm so close to these rocks, it's another case of focus stacking. I'm going to focus maybe 3-4 images leading off towards the tree. My F8, here comes that image.
If you ever drop down from Winskill Stones, down onto the road, you might see a giant boulder. It doesn't belong here, it's an erratic. We're on a big swathe of limestone, and that's a big chunk of, you can see the sandstone or granite, and it shouldn't be here. So how did it end up here? Well, it got picked up in the last ice age by a glacier, migrated across the UK, and then at some stage when it's melted, it's just dropped and deposited that stone. So it's sat on top of the limestone. In fact, if you actually look, go have a look at it, it's on little feet, little stands of limestone. So as well as the geology about that rock, there's the myths and legends, and it's known locally as Samson's toe. And the legend goes that there was a giant called Samson leaping across from one crag to another. He stubbed his toe and it snapped off, and that's what remains of it. I always prefer the myths and the legends to the science, so yeah, Samson's toe. Right, so as you can see, we're on the lane. Let's push on, let's find the waterfall.
So we finally made it down to the waterfall. That behind me is Catrigg Force. As you can see, it's a fairly impressive double drop waterfall. It just squeezes between this gap in these rocks, this little ravine in the limestone. When I've been here before, it's been spring and there's or even summer, and there's been loads of greenery. There's still a lot of green about. I think it's such a microclimate with all the spray from the waterfall that every fallen tree and every rock is absolutely covered in moss. But yeah, we've been in the depths of winter. It's not quite as interesting perhaps, I don't know. You certainly get a clearer view of the falls though. There's no branches and leaves in the way. So getting down here was a bit tricky. In places the snow drifts were over my waist, and then 100 yards later it was just grass, you know, as the snow's been blown away. And then this final descent is quite a steep set of steps to come down, and they're just sheet ice. I've already had one tumble. Luckily I landed in some deep snow. I might put that up at the end as a bit of an outtake. Well, talking about it being cold and icy, it's about -2 today. I've rocked up wearing a new pair of gloves. Vallerret have sent me a pair of these Markov V3s. They're not paying me to do a review, but they just said if you want to feature them in one of your videos and let us know what you think of them. Well, what I think of them is they're probably the best made gloves I've ever owned. I've done a few glove reviews, and yeah, these are by far and away the best built. This goat leather on the palm and merino wool on the cuff. It's just really comfortable, really nice to wear, and super warm. Yeah, really grippy palm. And of course they've got that feature that all photography gloves should have. They've got that peel back finger and thumb, and they just click back with a magnet, and that gives you that manual dexterity to be able to operate your camera. So you can just move those dials and fire off that shutter without any issues whatsoever. They've also got on the back a little zip pocket, and that's for one of those hot hands heat packs. But I don't really think you'd need them. They're absolutely toasty warm. Yeah, really impressed. So yeah, if you fancy a pair, like I say, I'm not getting paid, but if you look down below, there's a little affiliate link. I'm not getting paid for a review, but if you follow that link, I get a little bit of a kickback if you buy a pair. Highly recommended. So what I normally do when I'm here is I walk around on this right hand side on this ledge, and you can get just above this cascade in front of me. You can actually stand in the water and you get a better view of that double drop. But today there's just sheet ice everywhere, and I'm on my own. I haven't seen another soul all day, so I'm thinking that's a little bit too sketchy, and yeah, a bit of a risk not worth taking. So I'll probably stay fairly safe, stay fairly high. So what I'm probably going to do is take a variety of shots with different shutter speeds. Those rear falls are probably going to need a different treatment for this slower moving water in the foreground. But what I'll do is I'll take different shutter speeds of the different sections of water, and the ones that I like the best, I'll blend those together in post. So I've captured a few images in both horizontal and vertical orientation, and I like both compositions if I'm being honest. Like always with this kind of waterfall shot, you've got horrible bright white sky, that V at the top, which is always a frustration, and usually end up cropping it out. But yeah, I've taken one nice and wide at 14mm, and I've taken one a little bit more intimate for these first set of falls. Taking them at loads of different shutter speeds so I can pick and choose. Yeah, so here come those images. Right, so we're heading back to the car now. The rain's started to blow in, so I'm getting wet as well as cold. So I think it's time to head back and get myself a coffee. So yeah, thanks for watching. If you fancy a pair of these gloves, as I mentioned, there'll be a link down there in the description. And if you can find the time, why not give us a nice thumbs up and hit that like button, and maybe subscribe. It doesn't cost you a penny. And at the time of filming, I'm knocking on the door of 1,000 subscribers, so it'd be lovely to reach that milestone. Yeah, so thanks for watching. Until next time, from the Yorkshire Dales, I'll be seeing you.
I hate photography.